O.J. Simpson has made parole today, is that right? And, in his parole hearing, there was a video of his appearing before the parole board there in that Nevada prison. And, he's got on the prison garb, a green outfit. O.J.'s gotten fat. I mean, he's like roly-poly fat. I guess the food must be pretty good out there in that Nevada prison. I mean, because he's put on at least, oh man, that's what O.J. looks like. He's put on at least 60 pounds, from the days of his arrest and from the days of Heisman Trophy. He's put on at least nearly 200 pounds, look like to me. But so the food must be good out there in that prison, because O.J.'s looking good, and he looks healthy. I mean, he's fat, and the doctor's report from the prison, as well as guess they possibly can, is that he's healthy. O.J., I think, is 66 now. At any rate, he made parole today. He was, he had gotten several consecutive sentences out there for that stick-up job he did in that hotel in Las Vegas. And he confessed on his, during his parole hearing that he had talked to his lawyer, talked to his family about it, going in there to get his, I don't know who talks to your lawyer before you go do a stick-up, who talk to your family before you go do a stick-up, but obviously that's what he says he did, and he thought that he was doing, and his lawyers advised him that there was nothing wrong with him going. Now, a weapon was found in the commission of that snatch back of memorabilia. And so they nailed him. Actually, I understand that the Nevada prosecution team offered him a 2-year sentence. And he probably would have served maybe a year and a couple of months. He'd be running around now looking for more white women, which is what he does, and does proficiently. O.J. O.J. likes white women, so he's like Obama's daddy, Barack Obama Senior. Anyway, so he's paroled, but he's because he's got 4 other consecutive sentences that he must complete as well. Now, consecutive means that, you serve one, then bang, you got to serve the other one, which is highly unusual because most times you got several sentences, they make them concurrent. That is to say, they all run together. So when you complete the maximum one, all the others have been completed in that one as well. But that didn't happen with O.J. Maybe it's because he turned down the plea deal. But they weren't all that convinced that O.J. had done anything wrong. It's kind of what I did, when I got arrested in New York City. I mean, I went after a guy who owed me money too. The guy was as big a criminal as I was. In fact, he was a bigger criminal. I wasn't even a criminal. Well, okay, all right, I was a criminal too, but this guy was a bigger criminal than me. And, this is the absolute truth. The district attorney offered me a 1-year, county jail sentence for having a weapon. And I wouldn't take it. I told him to get lost. So I went to trial and got 10 years. They offered O.J. the same thing, 2 years, because they didn't really want it, because the case was not, we all know O.J. iced his wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. We all know that. Everybody knows that. He iced Ron Goldman, whether he was a lover or not. They both got iced, and everybody knows that O.J. did it. So a lot of people feel, well, this was justice to get him on this, but I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it was justice in as much as that no matter how much time he spends in prison, unless you are officially convicted of something and you pay the price for it, it's still, there's a lot of not justice hanging out there for O.J., so this was not the case. And he's probably going to get, I think his lawyers are working on an appeal of the other convictions related to this Las Vegas stick-up that night. And if he gets an appeal granted, he'll be out of jail quickly, running around again, looking for more white women, which is what O.J. does. Anyway, so I thought y'all were interested in that today. I mean, I'm wondering what kind of food they serve him out there in that prison, because O.J. is fat. Someone said that the parole board said that O.J. was the mayor of that prison out there. That he was a model prisoner, which is a pretty, it's not that tough to do. Most people who got an attitude in prison are always getting in trouble with the police, the po in prison. But they say he was a model prisoner, that he didn't do anything wrong, and all the prisoners in prison came to OJ for as a counselor. So I don't really care anything about OJ one way or the other. The thing that ticked me off was that all these black people were jumping up and down when he got acquitted of killing Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. I was ticked off that their church bells were ringing. I thought that was to celebrate that kind of a thing, I thought it was sick. I want to take the time now to thank all of you who listened to me going back a year and a half ago when I explained that Elizabeth and I went into a McDonald's restaurant to grab a quick breakfast and be on our way. We were traveling. And this McDonald's was in perhaps the poorer part of town, and it was about 10 o'clock. They were closing down the breakfast schedule, and we ordered, I don't know, Egg McMuffin and some tea or something, and this woman came in with 3 little children. They were all ruddy and dirty, and it looked like stair steps 1 through 3. And she went up to the counter, she ordered 1 Egg McMuffin, and she took it back to the table, and they all sat down at a table for 4 there in that McDonald's restaurant. And I really wasn't paying very much attention to her until I noticed that she was dividing up that 1 Egg McMuffin with 3 children, and she ate nothing herself. Well, it caught my attention and pretty much spoiled my appetite as well. I got up. I didn't do anything. Also, concurrently, the police were arresting several drug dealers outside of the restaurant. They had them, lying on the ground face down, going through their pockets and their sneakers and their socks, handcuffed and coming up with small bits of drugs. So all of that was going on. And you had some addicts sitting in the McDonald's that morning. So I got up. I was concerned that this woman was trying to feed 3 children, but I did nothing. As I've stated so many times, and I've repented, I could have gone to the counter and ordered enough food for all 4 of those people, the woman and her children, and probably bought a sandwich for everybody in that restaurant, and cost me maybe $70, and I would not have broken my bank. I did nothing. I got up, I walked out, Elizabeth and I, we got in the car and went on about our business. But the Lord didn't let me rest. It bothered me. And so after prayer, the Lord told me to start the 2012 jobs program and also the breakfast program that we've now called the Mother Couture breakfast program, and the rest is history. You know how all that got started. Now, what I want to do now is to show you what has happened as a result of my having prayed to Almighty God and being obedient to Him, and then through your very generous support of our ministry in the Mother Couture Breakfast Club, what it has grown into. McDonald's are famous for having playgrounds outside of their restaurant, and also eating places, slides and all kinds of little monkey bars and things where children can play in some areas outside the restaurant, even in large urban areas like New York City. I want to show you something that's nigh unbelievable. We now serve our children in a beautifully decorated courtyard. That was not the case when I walked out of that restaurant and didn't give that woman any help. But not only are we able to serve the children in this beautifully decorated restaurant setting as if they are sitting outside of a local McDonald's. When you look at the setting and the food service and the waitresses and the people that are waiting, and let me say a word about the staff, the people that come, that get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning and come and open up the ovens and turn on the stove and mix up the pancake and stir up the eggs and strip down the bacon and get the grits and the muffins and the toast and the cereal and the milk and the juice and the napkins and the plates and the floors clean, the bathrooms clean, the place ready for service. I want to take my hat off to them and say thank you to the people of the Outlaw World Missionary Church who have caught this vision that God has given unto me and have willingly given themselves to serve in this process. But I also want to show you now, not only are they being fed in a place that would look like it's outside of a McDonald's restaurant, but look at now the amusement area, because once we serve the breakfast, we put the tables away, we put the chairs away, and then we set up an amusement area so the children can have water slides and small wading pools, and the little babies can run around and laugh and play and just have just a great time. And because it's on the west side of our church in the courtyard, we have a gate there and a fence that keeps the people and the riffraff from the street from coming in. The children are protected. The place is clean and safe. We got safety monitors. We've got people watching over the well-being of the children. Look at what God's turned our church courtyard. I mean, for a little bit, you would think you were at a McDonald's restaurant, except for the fact that the food is much better and much more nutritious, and the service is off the charts. But look at what look at the miracle of what God has done. And he has done it, by the way. Now, our congregation, they get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, get on the trains and buses while it's still dark, come, open up the church, sweep the floors, sweep the mat, clean the bathroom, sweep the streets outside of the church, begin to cook the food, get the cereal, they go shopping for the food, and the children start coming in, they start marching in, and we feed them. I want to thank them for that, because without them, it ain't possible. But I also want to thank you, because you can see your giving has been pretty substantial. You don't do this kind of service without substantial giving. No, you people have given and given and given. We get so many gifts that is earmarked Mother Keturah Breakfast Club, Mother Keturah Breakfast Club. Mother Keturah, her name has never been said as many times in her entire life as it has been said over the last year. I got to say thank you for your very generous giving. I did not know it would evolve to this. I had no idea that the service area, not only great food, but the service area would become as stellar, as upscale, and as accommodating for young children as this have done. You people are extraordinary in your giving. Thank you so very, very much for what you have done. The Lord bless you for making this happen for the children of this community. Aren't they beautiful? Look at them. Look at their faces. I mean, look at their laughter. Listen to their laughter. Look at their playing. And they're all safe. They're all protected. Your giving has worked miracles here at the Outlaw World Missionary Church, the Mother Keturah Breakfast Club.